Have you ever struggled to make a windowless space look beautifully lit and realistic? Without natural light, achieving the right balance of brightness, shadows, and ambience can feel impossible. But with the right lighting techniques in V-Ray for Sketchup, you can transform a dull, flat scene into a visually stunning and inviting space. In this video, I will show you step by step how to create realistic, dynamic lighting in a space with zero natural light sources using a modern bedroom as our example. Let's get started. I have a bedroom that I've prepared for this video. We'll see it has no openings at all, no windows. This is basically to prove to you that you can achieve absolutely beautiful and realistic lighting without any natural light source. This will be so helpful for you on your project, I believe. And please, I would like you to pay attention to everything that I'll say or that I'll do in this video, and make sure you also practice along with me. Without further ado, let me get right into the space. So we have a simple bedroom space here. I'll show us how this space looks like without any natural light, and we'll see how we can light this up without stress. So the first thing I do with tiny spaces like this is to make sure I use my section plane, and from V-Ray next upward, we see the function on V-Ray tools convert to clipper. Once I use my section plane to cut any plane and I check my geometry here, I should find the section, the corresponding section here. So, and it automatically is a clipper tool here. So it makes your work very simple. What does this clipper tool do? Let me show you real quick. So I've already created a scene here. And if you look at this scene, let me go outside of this scene. You see, it's basically a scene that I have, I'm viewing through a section cut. You understand? So this is a section cut, and which is my section 1. So that is what I was trying to tell you the other time, and this is what I've done here. So why am I doing this? Because the space is really small, so I need to get a view that captures everything as much as possible. So that is the reason why I have gone for this section cut. Now with the section cut, you can set your view to what you desire. Do not forget to turn on your frame. So come to the V-Ray asset editor and come to save frame. So turn on your save frame so you get the desired frame that you wish to render with. For the sake of this class, I've set my aspect ratio to 4:5 portrait, and that is what we're going to be using throughout this video. So let us go to scene 1 now. So guys, this is what we have in scene 1. Let me just light up the scene. So, but before we light up the scene, like I've said, let's see how this space looks like without any light source. All right, let me click on the render interactive. So this is what we have. There are a couple of things I would like us to note. You see that we have sunlight coming in. Why? Because if we can remember, we are using a section cut, and then because we used the convert to clipper tool, and what it's doing now is that it's clipping everything that is before this area. It's making it look like every other thing that exists before this cut face, you know, does not exist. So that is the reason why sun can come in. So this is serving as a very large opening now, and we do not want any natural light source. We do not want the sun into our space. So let us see how we can do this. So go back here and then come to the clipper geometry that we have here. So that is the section 1, and this is the section that we just cut. And when we come here, we'll see under the options. So we'll see this option here, these 3 options. Please take note of this, guys. You need to turn off this if you really want to exclude natural light source. So we want to exclude natural light source. That means that we want the space to look just like it is. We just want to be able to capture the interior space. We don't want to capture the natural light source together with the space. So that is basically what we're saying here. You just need to uncheck the affect light here, and let's see what we now have with that. And boom, we see the whole space is dark. Why? Because we are in the space now without any light. And what do we want to do? No matter what we do here, if even we go and bring in our exposure and we toggle this on, nothing is gonna happen. Why? Because there's absolutely nothing. There's absolutely no light here. So what do we need to do? Yeah, we need to start bringing in our artificial light. When you are dealing with a space like this, guys, you need to really study the space. So you want to assume that this is real life and you need to light up the space, right? So that is what we want to do. The first thing we notice is that we have a recess. We have few recesses on the ceiling. So we will like this space with the plain light, and here we need 2 lights. The first will be the disc light, and the second will be the highest light. So why? Because we need to really light up the space, right? We need to light up this space. So that is what we want to do here as well. We need at least we need a light on the ceiling, or this. We have 2 recesses here, so I can just fill it up with rectangle lights here. And I also have made a recess here, so we can also have some accent light from here. And just okay, we also have some niches here where you can keep your stuff, and this is so here as well we can just bring in some light in here. So these are just what we need, just basic light setup within here. Under the mirror as well we need a light, and then under the cabinet we also need some light, and that's all. So let's quickly just do that. The first thing we want to do is to bring on a rectangle light. All right, I'm clicking on the tool here, then drag. All right, okay, just follow me as I do this. It's pretty simple, guys. All right, once I have this in, and we'll be checking our interactive renders. I always like to bring my light down by 1, because sometimes you might have your light and then just draw it on the surface and the light is competing with the surface. It won't show, you understand? So because the light source is competing with the surface, and it might not really sometimes it shows, sometimes it might not reveal light. So that's why I always love to bring it at least above the surface, at least by 1. So you can choose to do yours as you like, but guys, so I'm just trying to let you know some things that I've experienced. So we have this and this now as an instance, and let's see how our scene looks like with just these 2 guys. And let's see. So guys, we can see things are starting to turn on. So we have this light, but we are still far away, you know, so from having the scene lit up. So let's show this, and let's add some more. Let's come here and add another rectangle light here, and let me recess it a bit. Let me take it in and copy. All right, just drop there. So guys, just step by step like that. So we want to just see, so it's very simple, guys, very simple. Now have this space also coming up. You can see it's just simple, guys. And one thing you notice is that without enough light in your scene, you have all these patches, you have all these dots anywhere you see all these patches around like these dots, it shows that you need more light. You just need more light. You understand? You need more light in that scene. So let's close that. So we still need more light, guys. All right. So which other spaces did we talk about the other time? So we talked about these recessed spaces, and we want to firstly bring in our disk light. So disk and rectangle light are the same. You just need to tweak some options. And let me just draw a rectangle around here. And once that is drawn, come here. So the new rectangle, let me pick it so that we double sure. So we have here the rectangle light 6. So you can try as much as possible to name your lights for proper organization of works, but for the sake of this video, I don't want it to be too long. Let's just continue with this and we'll see. So this is a rectangle light, but we want to come to the settings here and change the shape to a disk, and now it turns to a disk light, and we will just adjust. This is it. Keep checking, check, update the scene. Now we have the spotlights on, but it's not really doing much. What we'll do is to start to add our highest light. So the highest light takes you to your PC. So there you select your preferred highest light. So let me see if we have okay, let me just select this, and then let's drop here. Okay, we can start to move as well. Okay, let's choose the narrow bright. All right. Okay, so this is what we want. All right. So with this, let us see what we have in the scene. Okay, it's not so bright, and okay, we can see the IES light on the wall. It looks really nice. It looks nice already. Now let's add some more light. All right, let me just bring this rectangle light and make it instance. Bring it below the mirror. Serves as an accent light. All right, let me scale it and bring it a little bit downwards by 1. I love to do that. So let me copy again and bring it here underneath the cabinet. All right, so we have that. The next thing we want to do, let's check out what we have. All right, so we see the scene is getting brighter, and let's close this. And where again have we not had it? So let's add another here. So all right, let me add this here. All right, and here. All right, so we need to scale. Okay. All right, now here comes the interesting aspect of it, where we start to set each light, the intensity, the temperature, and then the whole scene becomes alive, you understand, because everything is just kind of still flat, you know. And this is really good. This is really good. So the first thing we want to do is to come to the post production area here, come to the create layer, click on it, come to exposure, you know, tweak the exposure and let the exposure be around 1.5. You can reduce the highlight bond to about 0.4. all right, this 1.5. okay, now this is good. Let us come to our light here, the rectangle light, and we have a couple of instances within our scene. Now this is it selected. Let's change the light to about 2.5. let's see. All right, 2.5, around 2.5. okay, that will do. Now let's see how this looks like. Good, good, good. We can see this, and that looking really nice. Okay, and our highest light as well, we can have that as okay, and 1000. Let me select all instances, and then bring a little bit downwards. All right, so let's see how the scene looks. All right, so we can now go from here to our setting. So from the setting, we come to the advanced camera parameter. All right, so this is by default set at film sensitivity, that's ISO, to 100. Now the higher the value of this, the more light the camera lens permits into the scene, and then this, the lower it is, the more light it permits to the scene. So we just tweak it. Let me come to my scene. All right, and let me keep checking as I'm tweaking that. Let me keep checking. All right, we want to see what that gives us as we tweak, you know, our settings. So I want this to be around 150, you know, and then okay, 150, then let this be around 200. So guys, let's see what we have in our scene. Okay, let's bring this up to about 2.5, and we are seeing some things are happening already. All right, so let's bring this even up to 200, and then this to, okay, this to 150, and this to 180. All right, and now let's see. Okay, so guys, we can see our scene is really coming up and becoming so alive. All right, so there is a rectangle light here that we have, that we just might need to change the temperature as well to something warm, you know, like 2.8. all right, let's see. Now let me come to the directionality. All right, so the directionality of this rectangle light here, let's change that as well. So directionality is also very important if you want your scene to be brighter. It just increases the distance that your light travels. So you need to just be careful with the setting 0.05. all right, so that your light, the whole scene does not look awkward. You need to be realistic as well with what you do. All right, okay, now here comes the final settings that we've not touched since, which is the main light here. So these two lights here are very important, and so they are serving as a very large portal light source for us. All right, so let's increase that to about 60. All right, 60, that is. Then we should see some, can we see so some basic difference? It just goes from dark to very bright now, and then we see the scene is taking shape. It's taking shape, and then we are getting some beautiful and really great result here. So let's increase this, and our highlight bond, let's reduce that as well. Let's increase the highlight bond as well back, because the reason why we need to be careful with the highlight bond is that it can make your scene look very flat. So if you lower it that much, it can make it lose the depth. So now we increase this, and then the exposure. Now the exposure too, you can not just overdo that, because it overexposes the surfaces. Now we just want to do that a little bit here, about 2.8 as we had it, and then all right, so now we have this. So we can bring in our lookup table, come here, lookup table, and we want to come to our lookup table file and just reduce that. All right, so we have this scene, and this scene is getting really interesting. Can use the hue and saturation, reduce the saturation a little bit. So all right, okay, so this lights, we can increase that as well to, let's say, 40. Okay, we can increase our disc light as well. So the disc lights here, increase that to 60 as well. Let's see. All right, let's see how that forms. Okay, looks good. Our IS lights, let's increase that to 2000. All right, let's see how that forms. Okay, looks much more much brighter now. All right, so let's come here and reduce the exposure, yes, the highlight bond and exposure. All right, okay, all right, let me increase this a little bit. All right, so guys, it's just as simple as this, and we have a great scene here. And all right, we have a great scene here. So let's do the final rendering, and let's see what it is. Come to the settings here. Firstly, we come to this. We want to select light mix. All right, so set to group instances. And what else do we have to set? Come here, then okay, let's use CUDA, medium, and all right, so let's do medium plus. Come to render output. Let's do 800 by 1000, and come to environment. We do not need anything set here. Okay, we do not need the sun. Turn that off. All right, come to the noiser, default mild. All right, let's change the default to mild. Also global illumination, let's use 1002. Okay, good. And this is good, this is good. So let's just click on render. Boom. Guys, can we see how this is coming out? No, this looks really great. This looks really great, guys, really great. So you can see from a very dark scene to something as fantastic as this. So we can do even more with practice. So let's just go and try this. Let's see what it gives us. Let's see how we can turn around our scene. Oh, so this will be helpful for you. It will be helpful for you in projects where you do not have any window, any natural light source at all. So after this is rendered, you can come to the light source to tweak some settings. Come to IS light. We feel the IS light is too much. You can tweak from here. You can turn on and off as well. So this all right, let's see. So this, now we can reduce the brightness for this light. All right, so now we have something nice. All right, this as well, this looks okay to me. It looks okay, and this also looks really fine. This looks fine. All right, so basically this is good. This is good. We are good to go with this, and you can tweak some other settings if you like. With this, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If this has been helpful for you in one way or the other, kindly click on the like button, subscribe if you've not, and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever a video like this is published. Thanks for watching, and happy rendering, guys. See you in the next video.